Canada getting her second consecutive, last one, but very impressive wins over Seattle and LA. And Aaliyah Boston, and Aaliyah Boston said, you got it.
Got to save her energy this game. This team works her.
And they saw each other, a short shot clock right away in the first attempt. JC off the deck, tried to put it up and short.
One of those are going to fall. She went 0 for 7 last game in her first game back in a Dream uniform, but she's got to wear off some of that rust.
Natasha Howard drains that one in. She can do it all.
Howard had 26 points in the win over the Dream in the last game, so they know they've got to take away what she can do, especially inside of the paint.
The 3-time WNBA champion, 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, finding a new home, the one-year deal she signed as a free agent out of Dallas. Brittany Griner off back iron, so Atlanta still over.
Griner seeing that double team as she tried to turn over her left shoulder, did a good job of not allowing the defense to take it away.
Bree Jones with the assignment of Natasha Howard, Brittany Griner on Aaliyah Boston. Howard on Lexi Hull, and the block right away.
Excellent defense by Howard. She got sucked in, baseline, didn't cut it off by Hull, but was there defending with the block.
Ryan Howard has had to wear many hats in the absence of Jordan Canada. She's actually leading the team in assists. The dish underneath to Bree Jones, no good.
And Bree Jones pokes it away from behind on Lexi Hull, so gets the possession back.
First turnover for Indiana, long three. Off the mark for Alicia Gray. Alicia Gray leading Atlanta in points, averaging at 20 points. And you can see very early on who's trying to establish that physicality.
They've just been going at it. They've taken it personal.
Gentle reminder, Brittany Griner actually fouled out of the game against the Indiana Fever when they were at State Farm. A lot of contact at the top of the key. Aaliyah Boston taking some time to gather herself.
A little bit of a cheap shot here. You can see Griner with the elbow, and it's a little bit high, and it hits Boston almost in her throat.
Atlanta had to do a lot of that load in the inside without her in their previous matchup.
Well, the good thing is when they did win against this team, it was also a game that they did most of it without Griner on the floor, but you still want to have your best post out there in these big-time games.
Aaliyah Boston off from the three. She's already hit one on the season as Bree Jones puts Atlanta on the board.
And I stand corrected, one of your best posts, because that's not giving Brianna Jones her respect. She's also one of the best posts on this team. And she also plays at the pace that the Dream want to play at.
Talk about pace, you can't forget about Kelsey Mitchell.
Smesko telling us before the game that you gotta defend her in dead sprints because she's so quick and can shoot.
Woo, wait a minute now, Tab. Behind the back, behind Jordan Canada. I thought we were gonna see something on the highlight reel. Great, pulls up, drains it, bottom of the net. Atlanta ties it at 4.
It'll still make the reel just because of that play right there.
So positive play for Atlanta. Good to see Jordan Canada back on the floor. Coach talked about the rhythm in which he's expecting her to play. Bree Jones tried to poke away, forces Aaliyah Boston to pick it up, and another turnover for Indiana.
Atlanta's hands are just all over the place. And a good give and go there, but Naz Hillman couldn't complete it at the rim.
Looks like Natasha Howard may have gotten a hand on it. Again, look at the battle underneath, and Aaliyah Boston really forcing the matter on the inside against Atlanta.
Woo, this post battle is shaping up to be something, but it started on the other end right here. Bree Jones getting 2 feet deep inside the paint, and when she's that deep, it is going to be hard to stop her. If you're Aaliyah Boston, you want to keep her out. And right there, the nice fake from Gray. She gets the defense to jab to the rim, thinking she's going to pass it, and she just puts it up and knocks it down.
Off the deck, Kelsey Mitchell finds Aaliyah Boston, pulls up. How about the uptick in productivity from Aaliyah Boston over these last 4 games? Indiana playing their 5th game without Caitlin Clark. They were on a 3-game skid, have won their last 2 and are 2-2 without Caitlin Clark on the floor. Woo. A lot of contact underneath on the putback for Alicia Gray. She'll get 2 at the charity stripe. I'll tell you, Tab. 2 shots for Alicia Gray, shooting 82% from the free throw line this season. rolls that one in just behind Te-Hina Paopao as far as free throw percentage this season. We talked about Atlanta coming into this game 5-3 as you're taking a look at Te-Hina Paopao, the rookie out of South Carolina, also won a title at South Carolina. Got a couple of South Carolina, the Gamecocks, and the amount of titles on the floor for them tonight is pretty good.
And we also have their fan base too. I mean, whenever one of the South Carolina products scores, we hear half the arena.
Sid Colson pulls up, and that's her shot. Sydney Colson. That's how she got on the board again in their previous game against the Chicago Sky.
Yeah, Colson is a champion with the Fever, so she definitely knows how to play. Just because she doesn't get as many minutes with the Fever, or with the Aces, excuse me, doesn't mean she can't play. Just stepping into the starting lineup and producing.
In her 14th season in the W right away, Brianna Jones with the deep seal and score. Aaliyah Boston actually had a really nice screen to clear things out for Kelsey Mitchell.
Absolutely. Kelsey Mitchell was just smart with her read right there.
Naz Hillman lined it up, couldn't knock it down. She has extended her range this season, couldn't connect on that one.
Notice how the defense came out to have to defend her at the three-point line. They can't just sag off and help in the lane and clog it up anymore.
In the previous 3 seasons for Naz Hillman, she made 1 3. She's already made 6 this year.
Last game had a career high of 2. You got to respect her and play her from that three-point line.
Howard on Howard, and the bump and the basket for number 10.
You could see it in Natasha Howard's eyes as she landed and tried to keep her hands behind. Game 25 the next game, maybe 30, just gradually getting her there. But you see what she brings to this team. 2-time steals leader, 2-time all-defensive team champion.
2-time with that as well.
You need a player like that on the floor, and you've already seen the pace that she brings, and she's also gotten a couple deflections out here defensively. Just changes the pace of this entire squad and how they...
Stoppage of play briefly for the Indiana Fever. Had to make sure that the clock was right. Officials for today, Roy Govian, Sierra Cruz, and Kevin Fahey. 10 on the shot clock. Erin McDonald in the game. The up and under on Te-Hina Paopao, and right away like lightning.
Such a pro, just the consummate pro. Steph White talking to us about how she was ready when they called her up on that hardship contract, and she's just the ultimate professional. She works hard.
Brittany Griner back in the game with the 2 fouls, going at Damaris Dantas, who also spent some time in Atlanta. Holding her lip as well, might have had some contact on that spin around.
I like to see BG back in the game. Those were 2 quick fouls that were tic-tac fouls. We've talked about that in the past, how she can't pick those up. I like how Carl Smesko and his coaching staff are allowing her to kind of redeem herself in this first quarter.
Kelsey Mitchell dancing up top, strong on the attempt. Neither team has scored consecutive baskets in this game. It has gone back and forth. Indiana with a 1-point advantage with 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Bounce pass broken up by Indiana. That's the first turnover for Atlanta, as Dewana Bonner also in the game for the Indiana Fever. Dantas up top. So back-to-back looks for Indiana from outside. Same spot, same results. Te-Hina Paopao might have caught Brittany Griner off guard and still gets the bucket to fall.
Brittany Griner had something to say about it after. And I like the toughness that I'm seeing out of Griner.
Just shooting 36% from the field and have yet to knock down a 3.
I will say this, both of these teams make each other play ugly. I think for both of these teams to be 3-point shooting teams, they both are also good at defending the 3-point line, and all 3 times that they played each other, the 3-point percentages have been horrendous.
Kelsey Mitchell couldn't connect right away. Mia Coffey skying in for her first rebound. Atlanta looking to build on this 5-0 run. Ryan Howard already on the board. She's sitting at 2. Gray going at Hull, with back to the left. Gray for greatness on that one. She'll get one at the free throw line.
Now, Indy.
Can we go back to our conversation that we had with Carl Smesko earlier today? We were just talking about the road trip and some things that he's seen in his team as far as the growth. And he said the buy-in, yes, but also another viewer, the balance that we're seeing from them. Earlier this season, especially against Indiana, we talked about the amount of threes that were going up and are they settling. Now we're seeing a balanced attack from Atlanta.
Absolutely, shot selection as well and playing into each other's strengths. He spoke on how do we get the ball into our bigs when they're open and deep in the paint and not miss it? How do we get Ryan Howard better shots? How can we allow Alicia Gray to put the ball on the floor?
Tina Pow had to send it up top after a couple of nice moves to the basket. Couldn't connect. Here comes Sydney Colson, guarded by Maya Caldwell. Aerie looking for some space and took the bump. So
when they locked down Gray and Howard, who did you have? You didn't really have many other options, so now it's nice that they've got 4 and then some. Now we got Jordan Canada back, and she can put the ball in the hole too when she gets comfortable.
The depth for Atlanta definitely in a different place than a season ago. Jordan Canada. Didn't like the look. Will reset at the top of the key. 5 on the shot clock. Caldwell, corner 3, off the mark.
Lexi Hall was right there. She almost got a tip of that three-point shot by Caldwell.
Caldwell, that's what she does best. The 3rd turnover for Indiana. And just off the mark as Jordan Canada. You can't do that, buddy. Coming in bounds, trying to see if she can get it in. That's...
She overthunk it. That would have been her first made basket of the season, and she overthought that one. Guys, she can make a layup.
I think we can all agree, as Aerie McDonald can also drain a 3.
Hold up, Aerie. Let me see. She got 6 points already. She's been perfect. 2 of 2 from the floor. And that's that energy that we talk about that she's injected, and she's just revitalized this entire team and the fan base as well with what she's brought on the floor at both ends.
It's almost interesting that when some healthy bodies come back for Indiana, they'll have some decisions to make about if they can't keep her. Bree Jones on the 2nd attempt, that's good.
Boy, she just battles night in and night out. I mean, it does such a good job of doing her work early, just getting 2 feet deep in the paint.
Natasha Howard in the right place at the right time. Just down 1 as we're in the final 20 seconds of this first quarter. Jordan Canada setting things up, waiting. Gets Bree Jones against Dantas. One-on-one coverage. Off the glass. Yes!
She might have got away with a little step there.
3 seconds, Sid Colson sends it to Dantas. 3 ball, short. So that will do it for the first quarter, Atlanta. You're right, though. Going back to the 2nd game, as these two have split the first 2 meetings. But with Sophie Cunningham coming off of the bench, she had a quick 9 points in her first game back and was a tear for Atlanta, who really didn't have a response to scoring at the right time. Brittany Griner with the deflection over Aaliyah Boston. That gets Atlanta the ball back. Ryan Howard still trying to set up the offense.
I know that block felt good for BG because her and Aaliyah have been going at it, okay? Not just this game, all 3.
If it's one thing that Brittany Griner can do very well, it's block shots. She had 11 in a game in her career.
That's crazy. 11, sheesh.
Holds the W record for it. 10 on the shot clock, more movement for Indiana. Aerie repositions from 3, drains her 2nd one of the night.
And that's the pressure that McDonald puts on you. So you got to defend Kelsey Mitchell out there, but also Aerie McDonald, who are quick on the bounce, as well as putting up their shot.
We're tied at 22. Jordan Canada dropped Lexi Hull, looking for space, found it, and there's the bucket. Jordan Canada with her first points of the season.
She just wanted to do it in a nice fashion and a flashy style. That was a beautiful move. She'll miss the easy 2 at the rim, but she'll make that difficult shot.
I will say this, Tabitha, we're okay with her making the ones at the rim as well.
I am so okay with that.
Natasha Howard, the floater no good. Ryan Howard comes down with another rebound. Nas didn't like the look. Jordan Canada, can't she do it again? And couldn't connect from 3.
That's okay because she already saw the bottom of the net. She saw the ball go through. So now that pressure of making your first shot of the season is gone. And now you can just play.
Right, and to your point, Tab, for Atlanta in their offense, it's mostly what can they do for everyone being a threat. That is the right shot to take. So a foul will go against Nas Hillman.
Jordan Canada drops Lexi Hull defensively in and out on Natasha Howard, gets her in the air, and then step through. It's like 3 different moves in one. Just beautiful basketball.
Level of difficulty 9.8, flirting with 10.
I can't do it. I was going to give her a 10.9.
Putting you in a position where we're saying you can't do it. I don't know where the standard is going to be set. Where's the bar?
Girl, that knee would have buckled on that step through.
5 on the shot clock. Aaliyah Boston going against Bree Jones. The dig in by Jordan Canada. How about that look? Aaliyah Boston is just relentless in the paint, and a great start for Aaliyah Boston. Have 3 starters now with 4. Leading the way, though, Ari McDonald with 9 off the bench.
Her first 2 seasons, that shot might have been an errant shot, might have been wild, but you can see how she settled in her 4th season, just commanding the attention in the post.
Gray going at Mitchell, found space and dribbles that one right on in.
Kelsey Mitchell saying that Gray hooked her.
Alisha Gray may be soft-spoken and may look nice, but she is lethal on the floor as back-to-back buckets for AB.
Smart move by Boston not to even go into any of the contact.
So Aaliyah Boston again was trying to back.
For time this season, these are new teammates, and we still have players on Atlanta who've been working on that post-to-post high-low passing, so we know that it's something that the chemistry has to build, but that pass looked really good from Tawana Bonner to Boston.
On that previous series, Aaliyah Boston picked up her 2nd foul. JC again short on the 3. Atlanta still over from outside. They've missed 5. Natasha Howard draws the foul on Ryan Howard. That will be her first.
And Howard is, because of how Howard's hands, Natasha Howard that is, kind of went wild when she went up. That could be some acting or it could be some contact.
Checking in for your dream, number 32, SW.
So we get the first look at Shatori Walker-Kimbrell checking in for Atlanta. Another piece in the free agency moves for Atlanta over the summer. Picking up 3 players, Brittany Griner and Bree Jones being 2 others that have been brought in, and that was a big splash for Atlanta to understand the assignment of what they needed from a season ago, and especially being dropped out for New York with a lot of hype, the reigning champs, but also seeing Dallas and a lot of the interior front court length that they had to go against, and they were able to get really big pieces. Bree Jones send it out. Gray. Thought she shot it.
Yeah, it was a little late, but credit the defense by the Fever because they brought that double team to B. Jones.
You got to credit Indiana as well, holding Atlanta, who is in the top 5 in threes made in the league, to 0 for. They're shooting 36% from the floor at one point. Indiana up by 1. Dantas couldn't connect. Tawana Bonner couldn't corral that in. It will go out of bounds, and it will go to Atlanta.
And defensively, that's what Indiana does, Angel, just going back to their 3-point defense. They're top 3 at 3-point defensive percentage, attempts, and makes. So we're going to see if the Dream can get that 3-point shooting back on track as Indiana tries to defend it. They're
hit threes, and she added when I passed off, 9 times out of 10, she's going to finish it every single time, no matter who it might be.
Pretty accurate, Autumn, seeing that she is shooting close to 50% from the field. You mentioned her career high she's seeing. She's been on a tear and also getting the Eastern Conference Player of the Month to end out May as well with her bestie and Asia Wilson on the other side, Western Conference Player of the Month.
Yeah, she did it in the shoes and everything. She had on the pink A1s, but nice job here by Bree Jones, recognizing that she's getting the double team that's coming with Dantas coming down the side of the rim and creates that contact Dantas had no choice but to foul her.
That'll be Dantas' second foul as one more on the way. Lexi Hull checks in for Indiana. Natasha Howard will take a seat.
DeWanna Bonner is going to move to the 4 position. And not so long ago, we saw her go to the locker room. I don't think anything was going on with her. Didn't see any new braces or anything. Maybe it was just a potty break.
Just a little reset, that's all. Tied at 27. Atlanta have the advantage after the first quarter. It's been a very tight series so far between Indiana and Atlanta. Nia Coffey and Brittany Griner will check in at the next dead ball for the Dream. Gray sticks it in, got the cookie jar. Add the milk, she gets it to go. Another bucket for AG.
She could sense blood in the water when Dantas fumbled that first pass, and what did she do? She went for it without fouling.
Alicia Gray in double figures with 11. Just adding Atlanta's 3rd field goal in the paint. Kelsey Mitchell couldn't connect on the take. Yeah. Slow to get off the floor.
I like the no call, though, because Mitchell was out of control and also had a hook on Gray.
Reed Jones able to go against her former teammate, and DeWanna Bonner underneath. It's been pretty good.
Making a case for MVP early in the season.
Just one of the 2 teams still undefeated, ironically, along with the New York Liberty. Those are the final 2 teams, or the teams that were in the finals a season ago.
Yeah. So back to Atlanta. Ryan Howard's picking up that foul, but Brittany Griner tapped on her chest and said, "That's me." And I believe it's because she jumped when Boston went up the first time. So Boston did the pump fake, got her in the air, and then she got Nia Coffey in the air. Then Ryan Howard was that 3rd line of defense, and she picked up the foul. So BG having to stay on the floor, needing to stay on the floor to protect her teammates behind her.
So that'll be the 2nd foul on Ryan Howard. Brittany Griner also has 2. No others have more than 1 for Atlanta. On the other side, Aaliyah Boston has 2. Demiris Dantas, who is on the bench right now, also with 2. 4 minutes left in the first half. Ryan Howard out top has grown really comfortable in that point guard position.
Yeah, Carl Smesco told us that we were going to see her at point guard for the foreseeable future.
Stripped away, DeWanna Bonner held up Ryan Howard. That's the 4th turnover for Atlanta. Ari McDonald, who has already knocked down 2 threes off the bench.
And that's the length of Brittany Griner. She's going to force you to take those wild shots, and you can see the fatigue setting in on Aaliyah Boston. The post for Atlanta just wearing her down and making her work.
And the efficiency dropping for Indiana as well, as that sails out of bounds. Alicia Gray. 6'7" is enough. I don't know if she's about 7'2". She can bring that one down.
But we talk about the pace, both these teams, that they want to play fast. And I think that Atlanta has the upper hand in that, Chris. They don't get out of shape as much. We just talk about the fatigue settling in as the percentages are dropping for Indiana in the 2nd quarter.
Well, Atlanta has to clean up some things on the offensive end as well. They have 4 turnovers in this quarter alone. 8 on the shot clock. DeWanna Bonner pulls up for the triple. That's the 4th for Indiana.
DeWanna Bonner has been trying to find her way on this team. Just talking to Steph White earlier today, she talked about how off the bench she's finding her groove. She used to be in the starting lineup, but now she's figuring some things out in a rhythm that she can play with.
Nia Coffey, power move, and one too many steps trying to get to her spot. So yet another turnover for Atlanta. That will sum it in. Tahina Powell will take a seat. 2:36 left in the 2nd.
Yeah, Carl Smesco wanting to get JC back in this game. We talked about the minutes for her, how he wants to work them up game by game. It's just her 2nd game back, and she's at 10 minutes so far. So you're going to gradually see her play more and more minutes. She's got to get back into basketball shape.
Well, no better way to get in basketball shape than guard one of the quickest players in the W at Ari McDonald. Speed matching speed.
With their little selves. Them all quick.
Nia Coffey skies up for another rebound. We're locked at 31. Angel Gray, tap the Turner, and Autumn Johnson here for you as Nia Coffey pulls up for the three and off the mark.
But again, Alicia Gray was able to grab that rebound. Why? Because of the post for Atlanta. They command respect at the three-point line.
Another turnover for Atlanta. Kelsey Mitchell fumbling the ball up top. Allows Atlanta to set up in their half-court defense. Less than two. Erin McDonald, the slide, kick out. Lexi Hull. Triple no good. Tawana Bonner flying in for another bucket.
Yeah, you got to box out DB. She just came in. Nobody put a body on her. That's not right time, right place. That's not making contact when that shot goes up.
Indiana back out front. 6-0 run for the Fever. We've had 3 lead changes, tied 8 times. As we're approaching the final minute, Ryan Howard couldn't connect on the triple. 0 for 7 for Atlanta, a team that is second in threes made this season.
Right here, Tawana Bonner just skies in from the opposite side, the weak side wing. She wasn't even in the post. She skies in from the wing. Nobody puts a body on her, and she gets easy too. DB said, I don't want to fight. Give me the easy shots and let me work my way into this rhythm.
Good hands for Bree Jones. Trying to disrupt. Still a battle underneath. Aaliyah Boston begging for the ball, and Erin McDonald just a bit wide left.
Jordan Canada making Erin McDonald put up some shots that she didn't have to put up in the first quarter.
Tawana Bonner tried to jump out top for another steal. You can see Atlanta trying to regroup offense.
Atlanta has been 3. If you're Atlanta, you want to take advantage of these last few seconds and get back on top and get the momentum going in your favor.
They have not scored in 4 minutes. Can that change here? Gray. So they will say Atlanta that is going to challenge this call.
I think from one angle it looks seconds on the shot clock to work with.
They will get it in the area where initially the foul was called. So Ryan Howard out front of the Atlanta bench. As you mentioned, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Ryan Howard pulls up and off the mark for the three. The putback by Gray in the right place.
Not the best shot by Howard, but when you've got a team this deep and Alicia Gray, 6 foot, a big guard, she can do just that and get that easy putback.
Indiana has plenty of time for a final shot to close the half. 10 seconds, Erin McDonald up top, and more contact with Aaliyah Boston and Bree Jones.
And Stephanie White was all over that. She was right by the referee when she saw the push from Bree Jones on Boston. Jones just trying not to allow Boston to get 2 feet in the paint, because we talk about it all the time. When they do their work early and get deep in the paint, it's hard to stop.
Bree Jones now with 2. 6 on the game clock. Kelsey Mitchell finding the angle, rims out. And Jordan Canada comes out of the pass with the rock. That will
we have to execute our sets and do it at an efficient rate. And they also want to be intentional about getting touches to their post players and making sure they're bearing their defenders.
And to your point, Autumn, 6 of those turnovers were in the second quarter.
Yeah, just mucking it up in the paint. We had a lot of deflections. We know Carl Smesko and the Dream want to be intentional getting the ball inside.
That was knocked off the leg for Bree Jones from Natasha Howard, able to retrieve it back. Jordan Canada with 4 on the shot clock, pulls up, can't hit.
If you saw it on that possession alone, the high-low with BG and Brianna Jones, constantly trying to get it into Brianna Jones. So Indiana realizing that she's lethal in that paint, they're going to try and take that away as much as possible.
Kelsey Mitchell off the deck, pulls up. I don't know if there's many that can do it the way that she does. She's so quick getting to her spots on the floor.
I mean, whether you switch or you follow her, she can hurt you, and she reads the defense so good. You go over the top, she can put the ball on the ground and get to the rim and beat you there. If you go under, it's too much space for her shot.
Gray returns the favor.
How did Alicia Gray even get that one to go in? It was off balance going to the left.
So Indiana turns the ball over there.
But look at this by Alicia Gray. So she comes around the screen, loses Colson, and this is that first step I'm talking about. If you follow around the screen, you can usually beat the defense, and that's exactly what Gray does. She creates some separation. And there was a little bit of contact on that, but she got that one to go.
Indiana coming in at 4-4, having their 5th consecutive game without Caitlin Clark, who is still out due to the left quad. We're told from Stephanie White earlier today that she is making progress, trending in the right direction, and the most important thing is keeping her healthy for the long run as she fixes her eyebrow.
What do you think she's writing down over there?
I don't know.
Caitlin got
probably
notes.
the spots that she can probably score on the floor the next time she's available.
Like, what is she writing down over there?
Or maybe something from State Farm. Natasha Howard surveying the floor.
She's probably measuring the distance from logos where she can shoot at.
I wouldn't be surprised. Natasha Howard pulling up and can't connect there. Natasha Howard right now with 5 points, 2 for 4 from the field. Alicia Gray able to put on the Jets. She gets fouled, she'll shoot 2.
So again, just looking at the halftime stats, we talked about the points in the paint and we talked about the fast break points. And you can only imagine that at halftime, Carl Smesko said, put your foot on the pedal and do this a bit more, Alicia Gray. She gets Hall on her hip, and that's where the contact call, but it's the right call. But that's when being the aggressor plays into your favor. Alicia Gray, the last few positions, that's exactly what she's been doing, 2 feet in the paint, drawing the foul.
And something that we've grown accustomed to for Atlanta is seeing their pace in the open floor. Alicia Gray really forcing the issue and not allowing Indiana to get set. This is a team that is 2nd in scoring in the W.
Yeah, and it's mostly done in transition. When you don't allow the defense to get set up, you usually have a mismatch or you outnumber them.
Alicia Gray splits the pair. Does give Atlanta the 1-point edge. Kelsey Mitchell pulls up. Nothing on the triple. Ryan Howard thought about the 3, thought again, sends it back. Good defense on the Bree Jones dive to the basket. Now one-on-one coverage between Aaliyah Boston and Brittany Griner. Griner tried to spin it in. Great defense by AB. Here comes Natasha Howard. All the way to the rim, rolls that one in.
Yeah, Howard can do just that. Somebody fell asleep defensively, didn't run the floor with her, but she took it all the way in transition from the rebound to the rim.
Natasha Howard averaging 11, close to 12 points a game.
Double team comes, 3-point goes up.
While many say, is that a shot that you're okay with for Carl Smesko? Yes. Brittany Griner has been, couldn't connect on that one there.
We saw her knock down 2 back-to-back in preseason, and it got all of us excited. Hasn't knocked one down since, but we know that she can hit it and stretch the floor.
Yeah, just 1 for 6 in the regular season. Great defense in the paint for Atlanta. The kick out for Hull, no good. Hull, who was averaging her career best double figures this season at 10, has yet to score in this ball game.
That's because her and Ryan are playing each other. They're playing each other hard. Howard only has 2 points in this one, and they get switched off on each other quite a few in this game.
Sydney Colson with the assignment of Ryan Howard. Ryan going to the bucket, can't connect. More speed. Natasha Howard pulled Naz Hillman, and that goes to the 3rd row.
Again, the defense by Jordan Canada, though, and take the ball out. Now the defense for Atlanta can get set.
Defense.
Kelsey Mitchell gets blocked by Gray. She can do it all. Check the list. Another box.
She must have changed the goggles out at halftime again. Laser focus on these.
Those have some new technology as Bree Jones, like a bowling ball, out of the way.
And that's the right.
Double doubles, a career best and a franchise best.
And that's why they're sending double teams at her. That's the respect that she commands because she does her work so early and she's so smart around the paint.
This has the makings of another great one between these 2 teams. Gone back and forth with the lead. And Jordan Canada too handsy on the take from Erin McDonald.
He's been really working at the defensive end.
Ryan Howard rips down her 3rd rebound of the night. Ryan Howard has been quiet from the field, just 2 points. And Nia Coffey drains it from the corner. That'll lead to a timeout. Stephanie White not happy about that defensive series from Indy.
The Dream can definitely use her speed and quickness out here on the court.
A timeout was called in the previous play for Indiana because of a corner three for Nia Coffey. That was the first bucket off the bench for Atlanta.
And again, a deflection by Nia Coffey turns it over to get the steal. Look at Erin McDonald, mouse in the house on Naz Hillman.
Offensive foul, Erin McDonald standing her ground.
If it's one thing that Erin McDonald is, it's strong. She's only 5'6", but look at her stand her ground. Naz Hillman is strong, and she doesn't give anything, and she just absorbs the contact, takes it in the chest right here. Oh, she took one for the team, but got the ball back offensively for the Fever. Steph White just couldn't speak enough about Erin McDonald, how she was just ready to step back on the floor and lead this team.
I love the fact that she said with more practice time, we're able to see and get a rhythm with the people that are available. And for Erin, being disruptive, but also the natural point guard position has helped.
Good job by Bree Jones defensively. She pushed Boston all the way underneath the basket. She had nowhere to go.
Aaliyah Boston 3 for 9, 7 points, and on the other end, Atlanta continues to pile it on the inside. Indy looking for buckets as Naz Hillman looks like she'll pick up her third foul.
And look at this right here, Bree Jones doing her work early. So she gets Natasha Howard on the left side, and the chemistry that Bree Jones and Alisha Gray have formed, that pass was right on target into the interior for Jones, and she was able to corral it.
And another turnover for Indiana. That is their 7th. They have not been very productive, only 4 points in the last 7 minutes for them. Bree Jones put back again, goes off the glass, count it!
Should have been an and one because she was definitely fouled the first time. And she is putting in work. Brianna Jones with 17, excuse me. She leads all scorers in this game.
Atlanta outscoring Indiana 12-4 in the third. And an offensive foul for Aaliyah Boston, who is
the defense and not get beat on that first set. That's usually what happens. You cut off the person who's penetrating, or you're going to get that offensive foul.
Damiris Dantas will come in for Aaliyah Boston, who now has 3.
women say, let's go!
If you're just joining us here in the second half, it has gone all Atlanta way. We were tied at 33. And Indiana has not scored in their last 7 possessions.
Well, the defense for Atlanta has really ramped up. I mean, every time defensively, they've either had a deflection or a steal or a stop and forced them too far underneath the basket. They just picked it up another notch in this third quarter.
Gray, the dish. Brittany Griner, the pass and the make.
You know, BG, I still think she's got some dunks left in her. I want to see her dunk that one. Like,
Well, I think that's what she's saying her knees feel like when it happens.
Oh, you're right.
11-0 run for Atlanta. This is their biggest lead, up by 10. Dantas brings that to a close with the triple.
Yeah, Damaris Dantas, she did a bit of that for us in Atlanta some years back, and that's her first field goal of the game, but she still can make it.
Naz Hillman saw no one in the house, so decided to let herself in.
Yeah, Dewana Bonner was late recovering defensively, but it was too late. Naz Hillman was already at the rim.
Another steal. Here comes Ryan Howard. 1 to beat. Meet you at the top and couldn't connect. Nia Coffey tried to clean it up and nothing there. It will stay with Atlanta.
Just so frustrating. The easy points missed right at the rim, but a good job by Naz Hillman not missing at the rim. She just takes it on Dewana Bonner and doesn't let Bonner's
the layup, just sitting at 2 points. But Atlanta still finding ways to score. Nia Coffey. They'll say Lexi Hull was impeding the process, so Lexi Hull now in 4.
I don't know how many times I've seen Hull on the ground. I'm just surprised she doesn't have more court burns on her. She's just hit the deck so many times in this game because she's just so tough and relentless.
She is so tough. It's one of my favorite players to watch in the W because she is everywhere. And don't let her fool you.
Yeah.
She definitely has the respect of everyone that she has to guard as well.
That stat line does not reflect the impact that Lexi Hull has on the court.
9 on the shot clock, more movement. Mia Coffey triple. Couldn't connect on that one. This has been the worst three-point performance for Atlanta, and they're still up 9.
But again, in their win that they did get in Indiana, they didn't shoot the three ball well either.
Joanna Bonner lined them up. She can extend the range that deep, but that was in and out.
Excellent job by Alicia Gray with that first step. She beat the defense, and that's going to force Steph White to adjust some things. The players who have been here previously.
So Ryan Howard with a major collision at the top of the key with Demiris Dantas.
And this is going to cause Ryan to take a break. Looks like she kind of bumped. She bumped.
Holding, it seems like it's more on the hip side,
Yeah.
but able to get up and walk it off. Tough as they come, of course.
And it just takes a minute when you get zinged in some of those bones. You know, it's like that funny bone, right? It takes a minute to breathe and absorb.
I wake up in every bone in my body.
Everything. We are at that age.
Joanna Bonner going at Nas Hillman. A lot of different footwork that we saw there, and she couldn't connect on the pull-up.
Great defense by Nas Hillman.
Bree Jones got the double. Nas Hillman just off the mark on the left.
Shot that shot a little too quick.
Final minute, Kelsey Mitchell putting her foot on the gas, found the lane. That's what she can do.
And that's exactly what she's going to try and do, give Atlanta a taste of their own medicine. So you had Atlanta who's been putting the ball on the floor, which is why they were able to get this lead.
So a technical
all over the place. So I respect her as a player, but respectfully on both ends, it's been some missed calls and some contact that they've allowed to let go. It's been that way in all 3 games. I don't even want to touch the last game because that was so weird down the stretch between these two. But it's been called.
Atlanta won the first game against Indiana at their place, 91-90. Then on a back-to-back, they had them with the Indiana Fever returning the favor, 81-76. And Alicia Gray saying, we're going to take that one back. We'll get it here in the third.
Just the balance that Gray had. The pass was over her head. She was going right. She shot it back left, and it was nothing but net.
About a 7-second difference between the game and shot clock. Atlanta can hold it for the final shot. Six to work with. JC up top. The dive, Bree Jones, off the glass, yes, for Bree Jones.
That was beautifully read, and it's gonna put up Atlanta up by 14.
Round since the first quarter, they are now shooting 46%, where they were shooting 36%.
Yeah, they turned their defense into offense. They had 3 steals alone in that third quarter. But I remember saying deflection, deflection, deflection several times.
Jordan Canada with the first look out of the timeout, or rather the break, as we start the fourth quarter. Couldn't connect. As Ari McDonald strong on the take, and the whistle blew. She kept going, and another foul for Jordan Canada.
I tell you, they are friends off the court. All of these players, you'll see them hug after, but on the court, there is no love lost. The ref had to blow the whistle again 3 different times, and Jordan Canada still defended Ari McDonald. This has been personal for these players out here on this court.
I mean, at times they play with each other, whether it be overseas. How about Nas Hillman and Lexi Hull actually playing together and unrivaled, winning the inaugural chip there for Roses? Lexi Hull still looking for her first bucket of the night.
Big time rebound by Ryan Howard, though. Got in there and got over 2 defenders. Boston and box her out, so that's how it's supposed to work.
A lot of pressure at the top of the key for Kelsey Mitchell on Jordan Canada. Had to give it up. 5 on the shot clock. Ryan Howard was tripped up. If they say it's on Lexi Hull, that will be her 5th. It has been a difficult, frustrating night for Lexi Hull.
You know, I will say this. When she was in the first half and had only 2 for that half, I was surprised because I had heard her name defensively so many times on the defensive end. I'm surprised she hasn't reached 6 yet. But again, they're going to sit her down because they know they need her down the stretch as they try to get this lead back down to single digits.
Well, it's not bad when you can bring in a WNBA top 25 and DeWanna Bonner off the bench to relieve her.
Bonner with just 5 points tonight, talking to Stephanie White before the game about her finding her groove with this team.
Nia Coffey thought about it too long and studied wrong. Turns the ball over there. That'll be at
Howard was out there defending her because she commands respect behind the arc.
Indiana looking for some points. This is the biggest lead for Atlanta at 14. Ryan Howard has seen a little bit of everyone for Indiana. The switch. Kelsey Mitchell got what she wanted. Bree Jones. The triple and wide right.
Excellent defense between Ryan Howard and Bree Jones.
Bree Jones going at her former teammate off the glass. I don't know if she's seen that one before.
Just so impressive with her athleticism, her moves.
Solid screen at the top of the key against Natasha Howard, who's brought back up by Ryan Howard.
But look at this move in transition. Bree Jones with the in and out on her former teammate, just takes it to them work angels. 7 rebounds, or 5, excuse me.
Clear out as Kelsey Mitchell getting her easiest bucket of the night. Kelsey Mitchell with 10 points, the only player for Indiana in double figures. Ari McDonald has not scored in the second half. Alicia Gray, on the other hand, has.
Beautiful give and go, and this is what we're talking about when we say move without the ball in your hands.
Kelsey Mitchell in and out. Nashing on the baseline. Howard going against Hillman and rolls that one in.
Yeah, Naz Hillman didn't want to get the foul on that one, played it straight up, and Natasha Howard too good over the shoulder. 9
points now for Natasha Howard. Plenty of time left. Atlanta hoping to get back in the win column, dropping their last one after going on a 3-game win streak. And actually a 4-game win streak. So a travel call, back-to-back travels for Atlanta. So they're saying it will go against Atlanta for the foul, her 4th.
I'm gonna say this, everybody's gonna need some Epsom salt, an ice bath, some Vicks Vapor Rub, because it has been rough, to say the least, out here.
All the things. Nia Coffey with a lot of pressure at half court commits another foul. That is the 4th for Atlanta.
A lot of time. This is almost 7 minutes left in the game. These are all pros. If you're Nia Coffey, you don't want to commit that foul way up there. It's not necessary.
Another look. You have to think that has been the assignment. Stephanie White pleased with how they've been getting inside touches. The last few series going to Natasha Howard. Nia Coffey this time.
Bingo.
And that's why you shoot it.
Bingo. Jordan Canada, by being aggressive and getting 2 feet in the paint, the defender had to come over because of what she did the play before that. So what does JC do now? She kicks it out to an open Nia Coffey.
Nia Coffey has knocked down 2 of Atlanta's 3 threes this evening. Jordan Canada will not be denied, but they will say the wraparound with that offhand is an offensive foul.
But I like what
and work the actions until they can find a good, efficient look.
Thanks, Autumn. Well, we were just told that the challenge was successful, or unsuccessful for Atlanta. So Indiana got it back underneath, and as Brittany Griner tried to save it off of Aaliyah Boston.
So here's where Atlanta's got to be careful. So they challenged the call. It was a stoppage of play, which stopped the momentum that Atlanta had, where they were getting the offense going their way, and defensively they were turning the fever over. Now they've got to be intentional about their shot selection, intentional about getting each other involved.
So to clarify, Tab, and that's my error, they did say that it was a successful challenge for Atlanta. They counted the bucket, and Indiana received the ball out of bounds because of the made bucket. So we play on. 5:24 left.
Stay in. Dream ball.
It will stay with Atlanta. It's relentless getting to the glass. But to your point, does she get away with it moving forward? I'm not so certain.
But I like that the refs did, right? Like it's been that way the entire game, so they've kept it consistent.
Mia Coffey thought about it, instead dishes it off to Brittany Griner, is fouled by Aaliyah Boston. Lexi Hull returning to the scorer's table as she checks in. So Dewana Bonner will take a seat, and Aaliyah Boston remaining in the game with 4, Lexi Hull with 5. Jordan Canada waiting for it, needs help, finds Gray. 4 on the shot clock, turnaround by Brittany Griner, and that is textbook offense.
Yeah, she knew the double team was coming to her right side, so what did she do? She turned over her left shoulder instead and just took it one-on-one over Howard.
19-point lead for the Dream. Ryan Howard said, not tonight. Jordan able to save it back in bounds, flies into the second row. Ryan Howard, triple. Couldn't connect. Jordan Canada, chill out. We just got you back.
Howard would have hit that 3. This place would have erupted.
Gone nuts.
Look at the scoring. 6 points for the Fever in this quarter.
Howard gets it again. And a foul on the arm that may be confusing if you're looking at the box score.
Yeah.
And you see Atlanta up by 19. Ryan Howard only has 2 points. Jordan Canada only has 4 points. They were shooting 20% from 3. They've only knocked down 3. And yet, they have this lead. It's because of what we talked about earlier in the game and the balance that we've seen.
Absolutely. When your Ryan Howard isn't on one night because she's defending one of the best players, or she's got 5 assists and 5 rebounds, so she's doing a lot of other things, she can focus on her defense and focus on those hustle plays because she has a scorer in Alisha Gray and a scorer in Brianna Jones who can back her up.
Ryan Howard, who has been very vocal about being on the all-defensive team, is leading this team in steals. A jump ball will take place. In just 16 points this half.
They had 9 points in the third quarter. Like you said, it was a season low. Only 6 so far in this quarter, and that's credit to Atlanta's defense. They've really picked it up in this second half. We talked about the third quarter, how they put their foot on the pedal and they turned their defense to offense. They had 3 steals in the third quarter alone, but they had multiple deflections that turned into points at the other end.
Whatever was said for the coaching staff and Carl Smesko for Atlanta, they have turned it around here in the second half, outscoring Indy 34-16. Under 4 minutes to play to close out the game. 8 seconds on the shot clock with the jump ball between Kelsey Mitchell and Alisha Gray. Goggles wins. But a cough up by Shatori Walker-Kimbrough as there's a foul on the trip call against Shatori.
And inadvertent as well. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough pleading her case, but it had to be called because it impeded the movement of the offensive players. So Walker-Kimbrough, when she tried to corral this ball, you could see here it gets tipped to her. She loses her balance. And right there with that left leg, she sticks it out and it trips Ari McDonald, which impedes her movement. Had to be called.
So with that foul, the team is now over the limit. Ari McDonald will step up for 2 free throws. In and out for her.
Can I just talk about how proud I am of Ari McDonald? I know she's no longer playing for the Dream, but just having to work her way on and off rosters and staying ready and not having to get ready, but also coming out here and competing, just putting her head down and not taking it lightly. I really hope she gets picked up, if released, by the Fever in the near future.
It's been fun to watch her. We had the 3 seasons with her in Atlanta after being the 3rd pick in 2021 out of Arizona, where she was a phenom, as Nia Coffey has been a breath of fresh air off the bench for Atlanta.
Big lineup.
This is the biggest lead.
A semi-big lineup out there, too. You got Naz Hillman and Nia Coffey, both of your 4s out there, and Bree Jones at the 5.
Bree Jones trying to fight underneath against Lexi Hull. Ryan Howard, is this it? And it's not. Atlanta does get it back with a foul against Indiana, though.
When you're out there and you're getting hit and you're tired and you're putting forth all this energy and effort, I get it.
Stripped away, Natasha Howard. Able to collect that one. So with that, the thing. But it's interesting to see how Atlanta has grown since then, but Washington has been very good as well. Well, the clutch free throws of the game are sponsored by Free Last Bail Bonds, a place the people trust when times get tough. As Natasha Howard steps up for another one and can't connect.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game on Sunday. I'm going to miss you.
Oh, I'm going to miss you too. I am.
No, you're not. You're going to be on vacation somewhere in the sun.
I think
not
honestly,
thinking about me.
Maybe, but maybe not. Ryan Howard sending back to Nia Coffey. She's knocked down 3 tonight. Ryan Howard has really struggled from outside. Now, Ryan Howard is leading this team in 3s made. However, the percentage that we've seen from her this year is a career low.
Yeah, it is, and she's also second. She's also second in the league in 3-point makes. And you know, there's never an excuse. But when you talk about a player like Ryan Howard, who has taken it on her shoulders to try to make that all-defensive team and to play multiple positions for this team, it's hard to find a rhythm, and that's something that has to be developed over time, right? And so Ryan Howard, she's taking it upon herself to get better at that point guard position, and she likes the fact that she's leading this team in assists as well.
Leading the team in assists, has done a phenomenal job of being the floor general, and as we saw in the halftime report with Autumn Johnson, just taking it in strides, learning something along the way, and still trying to figure out where her spots are coming from as well. Just 1 for 8 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. That is not something that we have grown accustomed to seeing from Ryan Howard, who is a lethal 3-point shooter, and actually in her sophomore season put up close to 100 threes, had 99.
And it speaks to her maturity, right? Because in just her 4th season, as a player who was a #1 overall pick and a 2-time All-Star, when that gets in your head and you're not scoring the same way, you might want to go out and force the issue and try to get your buckets. But what did she do? She kept the course, and she's still on the course, and she remained steady of getting her teammates involved and allowing them to eat first.
Gotta love it from the leader of the group, Tahina Pow off the bench. Why not? Hands up. And that gets everybody else in the arena on their feet as well.
Pow is so much fun. I mean, a lot of players would come in with nerves in the last 2 minutes of the game, but she came in and banked a 3.
I don't think she has nerves. She just comes in. She is the lightest of the group. She is always laughing. She is so much fun to be around, to watch. I think she wants it back.
Absolutely. And Coach Schmesko loves her communication. She's loud, she's vocal.
Going against another Gamecock and champion, and Aaliyah Boston couldn't connect. And a foul as Bree Jones falls to the deck.
Also also led the nation in three-point shooting in South Carolina's undefeated season a few years ago.
And off the fingertips of Maya Caldwell, that'll go out of bounds. And one of
the new lineup out there with only Nia Coffey, who's been in the game for the majority of it. So again, the 5 that are out here trying to find some rhythm and chemistry with each other in this last minute and 12 seconds.
20-point game as Atlanta has led the entire, not the entire time, but in the second half has really pulled away. As another foul will be called. Are now on the bench, who they will see next. And that'll be on Friday. They'll see the Chicago Sky, as Indiana will see on Saturday the New York Liberty. So Indiana, you hope with the amount of time that's in between this game and the game that they're going to see the defending champions and undefeated New York Liberty, if they are indeed going to be able to get Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham back on the floor.
2 players that make a heck of a difference for any lineup, but especially for this Fever team.
And Michaela Timpson out of Florida State.
And you're going to hit me with, at least I played.
At least I played.
Political.
And Nia Coffey missing the first free throw. For Michaela Timpson to be able to surpass her in the double-doubles and overall rebounds records at Florida State. Having those 2 players on the same roster and to mentor is really cool.
Listen, if I was Natasha Howard, every time I go up against Timpson in practice, I'm showing her who's the real rebounder, okay? You don't come and take over my WNBA, even with expansion. A lot of good players out there. And Erin McDonald just proving her case why she should make someone's roster.
Speaking of expansion teams, I'm not sure if you saw the Valkyries and Aces game, but that's another team that has been able to string things together in the final 2 games as they had a big one over the Sparks. As this one comes to a close, Atlanta back in the win column, getting this one over Indiana and in charge.